Okay. Oh, that beautiful loading screen.
Indeed.
Nothing quite like it. And
with that simulated loading. So we, of course, are not going to wait for the whole game to load here, but we'll speed this up. But this is, a truly landmark game in a lot of ways. I mean, and there's that John Williams 1984 Olympic anthem.
Yeah.
Recreation of the LA Coliseum there. And we're going to be that Sid chip. We'll be ready to go. I mean, this game is truly, this is one of the first games that was developed in an almost modern way. It was developed by a team, and it was developed by a team that was separated into distinct disciplines. They didn't have designers per se. The programmers still did designing, but they had programmers, artists, and musicians, and a whole team working on this game. So, and it shows. It really stands out from a lot of the stuff that was coming out in 1984.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is a whole different, and the reviews reflect that. The reactions from CES really reflect that this month. It's just, it's in a league of its own.
Absolutely. And, such a nice touch. I mean, if you have a SID chip, use the darn thing. Such a nice touch having snippets of the anthems.
Oh, yeah.
Of the countries here.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, I mean, this was one of the very first games I got on my C64. I had one disc with 10 games, Jumpman, Rocky's Boots, and this.
Yeah.
And we spent so much time playing this game. It was scary.
Yeah. So I did have to pick a field of 8 here. They are very, very creatively named.
Yeah. Yeah, I always enjoyed choosing Epyx as a country.
Oh, yeah.
And we will talk later on. There's a story in today's episode about the weirdness of the Russians, of the Soviet Union being included, even though they are not at the 1984 Olympics.
Indeed.
And so, yeah. Yeah, it's the Commodore 64. I mean, at this point in time, there's no other machine that could even come close to this level of presentation.
No.
You could have tried it on an IBM PC Junior, but it would have sounded like utter crap.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't include the anthems, that's for sure.
It would be. Yeah. You are really enjoying this.
And we did for the final. We went with the Epyx team.
Of course. Yeah, and this is also the Epyx logo is only recently been introduced at this point. Mm-hmm. So that's also a new bit. All friend of the show, Michael Katz's work.
Indeed.
So why did you put in 8 teams?
Because it made me. There might have been a way to.
Oh yeah, no, you just need to change the number of players. Yeah.
Yeah, there was never a place that gave me an option to change the number of players. I remember I've never, never picked this up before. So
this is true.
Doing my best. So yeah. So the first event here is going to be perhaps a bit of a disaster. It's
oh yeah.
We'll have to redeem it.
Ooh, oh sorry. The emulation just then you can really see the okay, you don't have what's it called? Vertical sync turned on. And so this is why when he walks in from the side, you're going to see the pole vault.
The tearing. Yep,
yeah, that wouldn't have happened on an actual monitor.
Fair enough.
Because the V-Sync would have been on. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, these are great graphics for 1984. I mean, the animations are really good. I'm still fiddling around with buttons on my Xbox controller, which is subbing for a joystick, figuring out what does what. So, okay, now figured something out there. Yeah, we figured something out there.
Yeah. Yeah, here you can actually set the bar, how high you want it and stuff.
Yeah, I should have probably set the bar lower.
No, you can't go any lower than that.
Oh, okay.
You can go higher, but you can't go lower. Okay. Now you figured out that when you hit the button, it starts lowering it. Ooh,
Yeah.
just shy. Oh. Yeah, it takes a while to figure it all out.
Yeah. Sorry, we
man.
have to go through 8 of these people.
Yeah. Oh, just barely. Yeah, I mean, I remember as a kid having to learning all of these tricks.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Then you have to, at the right moment, push the character up
And you
to
see,
change your position.
Yeah, never figured that part out, but it makes sense. I mean, that
Yeah.
is how pole vaulting works. But we're gonna have a lot of
Trial and error.
so we can talk about how how amazing this game is in other ways. I mean, these are really great graphics for the time, really great animations, and as I said, I mean, they actually had a team working on this, not just one or two guys. They kind of gave out they divvied up the events. That's what I'm trying to say, and it really shows because they were able to have such a diverse array of gameplay experiences, which just wasn't done back then, and certainly not done with such great animations because all of these events needed very different animations as well. So
well, and the sprite sizes are completely different. I mean, the character sprite when you get to the gymnastics event is very different, is much larger than the sprite here. And then, of course, you get to the skeet shooting where your sprite is literally just a marker and stuff. And each event feels like a full experience with its own control mechanisms. And even later on, the relay stuff. The different relays actually control differently, even though the graphics are sometimes identical. Depending on what the event is, they actually change the rhythm techniques that you need and stuff, which just made it so that you really had to learn all these different skill sets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And doing just the one event here would have technically been the entire 7 minutes, but couldn't have the 7 minutes. So these are deliberate fails here just to get through the last couple. Couldn't have that be the whole thing. So even though that would have relieved me of my 7 minutes obligation, both the fact that there were so many national anthems at the beginning, which wasn't really playing, and the fact that I couldn't end it in that kind of disgrace, meant that I did have to go on and do the next event.
Oh man. Oh, the diving. Yeah, this is a tough one too.
Now, of course, this is the first time I've seen it, so there's some learning.
Yeah.
But we're gonna actually get some scores here eventually. Don't worry.
Yeah. And this in this event, unlike the pole vault where every sprite had exactly the same color combination, here each sprite has its own bathing suit color, which is a nice touch.
Indeed.
And even skin color, yeah. Jeez, I forgot about that.
See, we're starting a little bit. We're gaining a little momentum.
Oh, you got an 8. You landed with your feet first, and then got an 8. Oh, that was a belly flop. Oh, that one hurt.
Indeed. But I'm starting to figure out the controls here a little bit.
You got it.
I'm starting to figure out the controls a little bit.
Yeah, you still haven't figured out a tight spin yet, but you're getting there.
And, mixing it up, making the timings a little bit different here. Well, there's a lot of variety, considering the limitations of systems at the time.
Oh, nice. Oh, the judges like you.
Yeah. See, I'm starting to figure out a little bit of these timings a little bit.
Yeah. but you still haven't done a complete. Now it is possible to do basically roll into a ball, and then you're spinning super fast, but getting out of it in the right moment is a pain in the butt.
So why bother when you can get 9.5s and 10s without doing
Yeah,
that mess?
yeah, really. Yeah. Ooh, that would have hurt.
Yes. No Olympians were harmed in the making of this.
Yeah, I mean, and just at the time, I mean, when you consider, well, if you ever look at any of the ports of this game, I mean, it does even get ported to the 2600, curiously enough, in a more limited fashion, but it does get ported to the 2600. But even the Apple II version looks like complete ass in comparison.
Oh, yeah, you need those sprites.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. Almost perfect. That's probably the Russian judge. No, they're not there. Damn.
Yeah.
McDonald's was really paying for that one.
McDonald's and Krusty.
Wait. Who got the perfect score? Which country?
No perfect scores. No perfect scores as of yet.
No, but it was very, very close.
Yeah, yeah, the one with just the 9.5. I'm not sure which one it was. But I've got the timings going a little bit. I mean, I'm not flawless at it, but no. The zeros went away pretty quickly.
Yeah. Doing the turning the sprite around without a mode 7 effect. So those are all being stored in memory. They are really come on. Whoa, perfect score. Very nice.
I'm glad I redeemed myself a little bit from my pole vaulting misadventures where I never figured out the back half of the vault.
Yeah.
And a new world record.
For Italy, of all people, of all countries. Nice. Okay, but Australia.
Oh, no, it was Australia that got the perfect 10. But Italy had the computer record.
Gotcha. Okay, gold, silver, bronze. And you didn't do any other events. See, this is where you really should have had.
Not 7 hours in heaven, Carl.
No, it just one single player.
No, I understand, but I didn't see any options. I mean, I'm sure they exist, but remember, no instruction manuals.
No, it's right there on the first screen.
No, it's not. Number of joysticks, but not number of players.
Here, one sec. Oh, and also we can talk very briefly about the names here on the list. Scott Nelson and Randy Glover.
Yeah.
Two very, very important people.
But Carl, the list is compete in all the events, compete in one event, practice one event, number of joysticks, see world records, and opening ceremonies.
Okay,
I set the number of joysticks to 1. I set the number of joysticks to 1. I'm sure there's got to be a way somewhere, but without having an instruction manual to tell me, this was the option screen that I had, and it had no way for me to just have one player. I know, objectively speaking, that you can play it as one player, but I did not have the option.
Yeah, let's see. Well, compete in all events.
Yeah.
Was it just by hitting escape? Maybe if you just hit enter, I think it just jumped over it. If you didn't give him a name, it just jumped over it. I can't remember now.
Maybe, but we still had a good time. We got a perfect 10, and a near perfect 10. So we had some good dives there in the end. We had some fun.
True. This is true. Okay, that's true. Okay, well, hey, let's get back to the episode then.